Hey folks, welcome back to Mark Kelly Farm. It's that time again. Time to reward one of our most active subscribers. And to win this, you don't have to do anything but be one of the people that's with us all the time and comments and watches our videos and stays in contact with us. So this time the winner is, drum roll please, Linda Blinn. Linda, we thank you for all that you do and being part of the experience here on Mark Kelly Farm. We appreciate all of your thoughts and your good stuff that you share with us in the comments. So thanks a bunch for all of that. So we don't have a prize picked out. I've changed it up just a little bit. Last time we had a prize picked out. This time, Linda, if you'll get a hold of us here in the comments, we'll figure out how to contact each other. And I'm going to figure out what you're into, what you enjoy, figure out something that you need, and then we'll send it to you. So that's the way it's going to work this time. So congratulations, Linda. We love you. Thanks for being with us again here on Mark Kelly Farm. While we have you guys here, why don't we do a little walk around and see what's going on here? If you remember a couple videos back, we had all this dug up. We had a mess out here to put in these hydrants. You'll see that hydrant there by the barn, and this new hydrant here by the chicken coop. And every time you dig a big hole, you always end up with dirt that doesn't fit back in the hole. So we know some of this stuff is going to settle, so I just left the dirt there in a pile. And as we need it, as this stuff settles, I'll just grab it with the tractor and we'll pack it in. The girls having a real nice day out here, enjoying this nice cool weather. It feels like we're finally getting into fall, but they're really enjoying their chicken run out here. You can see they're using the feeder in there. Kelly's roses and her plants over here are doing really well. Everything's looking good. All the fruit trees are still doing good until we get a frost and it knocks all the leaves off. But real happy with the fruit orchard. We haven't, hey cat, haven't lost a single tree. So right now we're sitting at 100% on the trees. Look at that grape arbor. Hasn't that come along nicely? Looking real good. We might get a little freeze tonight, so I came out and I picked all the red tomatoes I had. We still need to plant these eastern red cedars. We've been watering them, but there's a couple more that are showing signs of stress. We need to get these things in the ground. Let's go out to the garden out here. We've had lots of rain, so haven't been able to walk in the garden, much less get out here and do much weeding. So you'll see we have a few weeds coming in here that need to be addressed. When this dries up enough, I'll get the wheel hoe out here and take care of those. PDQ looks like it's firm enough to walk out here now. But this is the broccoli. It's all ate up, but we got a couple little tiny heads here and there. If the bugs aren't in those broccoli heads, we might be able to harvest some and eat some. But there's a couple heads forming, so that's promising, even though they're all ate up. I haven't looked at the cauliflower over here. Maybe with this cooler weather, it'll give it a little bit of break. But looks like there may be a head forming down in here, so that's good. But you can see that maybe Kelly thinks it was the grasshoppers out here eating, but who knows. Artichokes, I don't know if we're going to get any artichokes this year. I planted them at the recommended time that it said on the package, which you can't always follow. But I think next year, if these roots don't survive, which I don't think they will, like out in California, they'll come back every year from the roots. But if these roots don't survive, I'll replant from seed again, and I'll plant them when we do the March plant, or not the March, but the May 1st planting, if the weather permits. Got a bunch of jalapenos we need to pick again. The dill is actually coming back. This cool weather's got some of this stuff springing back. The kale, loads and loads of kale we've been feeding the chickens. What I'm disappointed in is we're just now starting to get some red tomatoes. You can see a lot of the green ones here. And it's starting to turn cold here in the fall. So you know what happens when it gets cold, the green ones stop turning red. So that saddens me because we're just now getting a couple larger slicer tomatoes. But the winter squash, the frost is going to kill all this back, and then we'll be able to pick all the winter squash. The frost won't hurt the squash itself. The green beans, I'm going to go down here and pull all the plants up and let that dry up real good. And then the beans that are fully formed, ones we discussed in some of the previous videos, like these down in here, those will be our seed beans for next year. But lots of butternut squash, buttercup squash, Hubbard squash, all through here. See a couple of the Hubbards in there. Another big Hubbard right there. Right there. So this will all die down, kind of like pumpkins do when you get a good frost. Look at all those butternuts. Just loaded with butternuts. A couple of our cantaloupes got overripe. I threw them out there on the edge. I'm going to take those to the chickens. But folks, look at all these cantaloupes. One plant, all these cantaloupes. I've already picked probably 8 of them. I believe our watermelons are ready. So I'm going to pick this one tonight in case we get a freeze. So I think these babies are ready to go. If it does frost, it's not going to frost very hard. It's scheduled to get like 33 degrees. So it won't hurt these watermelons because they're sitting on the ground. Habanero peppers. The bushes look beautiful. Let's try to find some peppers in here. Lots and lots of green bushy. Oh, there's some peppers over here. They're still green. That pepper there. But they'll stick out a little bit when they're turn orange, like that one down there. There's one. And there's one over here. And a few down in there. Look at that down in there. So I need to pick all these tonight in case we get a frost. I had one of our sugar baby melons the other day. They were sweet. So I may pick these also or leave them. But that's a look at the garden. Still love being out here. The marigolds are starting to give it up. The ones that have been turned completely brown, I've been pulling because I don't need marigold seeds all over in here, like this one. But lots of cherry tomatoes we've been picking. Made some fantastic pico de gallo with these Sweet 100 tomatoes. I just quarter them, mix them up with some onions, some cilantro, salt, pepper, and 1 jalapeno, and it comes out great. That portion of the chicken coop we were working on, we got done. We'll go show you that real quick, what the finished product looks like. There's the guinea keats down in there. Kind of hard to see them with that red light on them. Getting out of their ugly stage. They're starting to feather out. But here is the indoor section. Here we have our brooder here up top. Kind of dark in there. But that's what it looks like inside the brooder. I've got another one of these hooks coming on Tuesday. Here's the clean out tray for the brooder. And then our hospital pen down here. How many chicken coops do you know of have an emergency room? Check that out. Got a door that goes to the outside. It's got a movable roosting bar. It can go up higher or lower depending on the size of the birds in here. We've got the water all buttoned up to where it's sitting where it needs to be. I got the extra support underneath the edge out here. We have our space-saving chicken feeder here. Goes on the outside of the coop. All this is, it's a sanitary tee, 3-inch, and then we put a plug in the bottom of it, and then put about 3.5 foot of 3-inch PVC on that, and then we put a threaded coupler, and then you just dump your feed down there in the hole, so it holds quite a bit of feed. If we go away for 2 or 3 days, there'll be plenty of feed in there for the chickens. And because the way this tee works, it's similar to our feeder that we made out in the chicken run, where it's hard for them to drag the feed out and waste it all. And even if they do, they can eat it off the floor in there once they drag a bunch of it out. But that's what she looks like. Real happy with the design that Kelly came up with for this chicken coop. She did a fantastic job. I mean, with no prior building experience, the blueprints that she drew up for this chicken coop were just really spot on. I'm going to close this door for the night. Night, girls. Make sure you get inside before the door closes. These nice, cool fall evenings are amazing out here in Nebraska. That's another thing that I love about Nebraska is we actually have all 4 seasons here. Whereas from where we were from, we basically had 2. We had somewhat of a winter. It would maybe get down to freezing a few times a year. And then a big old long hot summer. But love the fall and the spring. Those are my 2 favorite seasons of the year. So if you haven't seen the Binzebo since we got it together, we'll show you that. Here it is. I've been enjoying lots of time out here. When I take a break, when I'm working outside, I'll come sit in here in the shade, get a nice breeze coming through the windows. It's beautiful. I eat lunch out here all the time. I've eaten a lot of dinner out here now that it's cooling off. I've been doing a lot of barbecuing with our Masterbuilt 800 back there. I got to get the cover put back on it. But we really love how this came together. And this is going to be a much used area here on the homestead. We'll give you a wider shot. We absolutely love it. To all my previous coworkers, I'm still representing. Got our weather vane up on top. Now our fire pit area over here, I've still got some work to do on the fire pit. I'm going to dress it up to where it just doesn't look like an old wheel. We're going to decorate it up a little bit with some iron. Looky what I found. Very nice. So here's that settling we were talking about. That obviously didn't get packed down very well. So we'll move some dirt over here and throw it in there. All of these roses that we transplanted have taken really well to the area, all with the exception of the one way down in the corner, but I got an extra one to put in there. These, when they grow up, will be pretty much covering this front fence. We'll have a big show of color out here once all this is together. And finally got some grass to grow here where the old tree was. So this grass will continue to spread. I need to choke out this weed, whatever it is. It's almost invincible. I've sprayed 2,4-D on it. We may have to just dig this stuff out and plant some grass in here and choke it out. But this used to be just bare dirt, kind of that nasty stuff that falls out of these pine trees was real thick on the ground, and nothing would grow in it. But the grass has taken hold, so happy about that. Kelly refreshed all of her mulch up here the other day. It was starting to break down, so she put some more in there to keep it nice and deep. If you remember this project, if you don't, you can go back and see the video. Still no weeds out here, so living proof you don't need that nasty landscape fabric. Just get you 3 inches of good mulch in there, and the weeds aren't going to grow. But Kelly's roses out here just keep on going. Keep going. I don't know what she does, but these have shown flowers basically all summer. Just beautiful. They're starting to slow down now, but beautiful. Look out the front window and see all these roses. There's a story behind every one of these plants. The previous owner knows it. Kelly knows it, but pretty neat. Kelly's starting her fall decorations up here on the porch. All we got left is to get some pumpkins and some hay bales, and her fall decorating out here will be done. She's already got it done in the house. Kelly's a fantastic decorator. I'm going to try to convince her to post some of her indoor decorations on the Facebook page. You will see how talented she is with decorating. All right, folks, that was our quick little update. So remember, Linda, make sure you get a hold of us, and we'll get in touch and figure out what we're going to send out to you for your prize. And thanks for hanging out with us with our little farm update here. So stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Again, we're going to get back in the kitchen here real soon. So if you're waiting for some more recipes, we're going to get her done. So catch you on the next video.